You know that in the original concept for Jurassic Park, filmed in 1993 by Steven Spielberg, actually ditched out this vehicle for a Ford Explorer for the movie. Yes, they forgot all about it, but guess what? This legendary SUV was featured in almost every action, drama, and horror films alike, and that is the Toyota Land Cruiser. So let's dive right into why the Toyota Land Cruiser was switched out for the Ford Explorer. Originally, Steven Spielberg wanted an off-road vehicle that could tackle harsh conditions and atmospheres depending on the terrain and climate. So they originally used something else. It wasn't the Ford Explorer nor a GMC. It wasn't a Dodge Ram. It was a Toyota Land Cruiser. But why a Land Cruiser? Well, because you can't go wrong with the Toyota Land Cruiser. This legendary station wagon, SUV, or truck was an icon in the off road world in real life. In fact, many Hollywood action movies wanted to pitch in the Toyota Land Cruiser nameplate. So, what Hollywood did was feature the Land Cruiser in their movies. In fact, the very first old school Toyota Land Cruiser from nearly 50 years ago was the FJ55, used in the 2007 Stephen King movie The Mist. That Land Cruiser was phenomenal. However, in 2021, Daniel Craig's movie James Bond No Time to Die also used a Toyota Land Cruiser, specifically a 1997 Toyota Land Cruiser Series Colorado, which happens to be a 90 series model for 1997 all the way to 2002. But why did Jurassic Park ditch the Toyota Land Cruiser for the Ford Explorer? Well, it's because the movie adaptation did it way different compared to the book. The book derives that of the Toyota Land Cruiser's dominant era of the time. So, the book concept was way more different and it was a lot cooler because featuring the Land Cruiser, that was an ordeal and basically era correctedness because at that time, the early 90s, Toyota actually produced the Toyota Land Cruiser 80 series, but Ford, they got the Ford Explorer XLT. In fact, the movie adaptation of Jurassic Park, it was a Ford Explorer. That was the biggest mistake Jurassic Park has ever did. Why didn't you just choose for a Land Cruiser instead of a Ford Explorer? Big mistake, Jurassic Park. Big mistake. So why do we all think that the Land Cruiser should be featured in Jurassic Park? Well, it's because the Land Cruiser's rugged, capable off-road capabilities were adaptable to any sort of environment because they could handle abuse, they could handle the destruction, they can handle anything. They can even handle the worst for the worst. The Toyota Land Cruiser is survivable not because it's just an iconic family car everyone drives in the 90s or 80s. The Land Cruiser 80 series was known for its rugged capabilities and luxuriness between both worlds. One is for family, the other one was off-roading. The Toyota Land Cruiser 80 series first debuted in 1989 of January 18th in Japan by Toyota. They released a Lexus version dubbed LX450 for the US and Canadian regions. However, in other nations, it was just, well, a Land Cruiser. But Toyota didn't mind because Lexus was actually the sibling company brand that was made by Toyota, along with Scion, which is also a well-known car company. Daihatsu also was part of Toyota's branding between the 70s, 80s, and 90s as well. So my thoughts about the Toyota Land Cruiser featuring in Jurassic Park's novel was a bit more simple. You can't go wrong with a Toyota Land Cruiser because why? These things don't break down that easily. They can be restored for 15 days or 15 weeks. Although it may take a long process to actually make a Jurassic Park styled Toyota Land Cruiser, I can't blame them. And from what I can see, the Toyota Land Cruiser should have gotten more actor time in Jurassic Park rather than any other related movie, which only shown it for a couple of appearances. The Toyota Land Cruiser in the book version of Jurassic Park left a marking that lasted for decades. Toyota Land Cruiser 80 series fans now remembered why Jurassic Park chose the Ford Explorer instead of the Land Cruiser for the movie adaptation. Viewers were unimpressed with the movie adaptation's choice for the Ford Explorer, but they were engrossed with the Toyota Land Cruiser in the book version. This book version vehicle was definitely the right choice for Jurassic Park, not the Ford Explorer. In fact, what if Jurassic Park went back to the Land Cruiser models in 2026 or other featured Jurassic movies? And I would likely be excited about that because everyone wants a Land Cruiser 80 series. I owned one myself too. So, when fans think about Jurassic Park, they need something tough, something strong, something that doesn't even break. They need the Land Cruiser. They just don't need it. They want and need a Land Cruiser. Thank you for watching. Make sure that you go comment, like, and subscribe. Don't forget to hit that notification bell. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.